Welcome to Simply Explained Academy. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about blockchains in the crypto world, Solana. By the end of this video, you'll understand what Solana actually is, why so many people are excited about it, and, most importantly, whether you should consider buying it in 2025. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. Alright, first things first, what is Solana? At its core, Solana is a high-performance blockchain platform designed to support decentralized applications, or dApps, and crypto-native finance. You can think of it as a big digital highway where transactions are the cars, and Solana's job is to keep traffic moving as fast and as cheaply as possible. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which can get congested during busy periods, Solana was built from day one to handle thousands of transactions per second without breaking a sweat. So how does Solana achieve this speed? It all comes down to two key innovations: proof of history and a highly optimized version of proof of stake. Proof of history is a clever way for the network to timestamp transactions before they even hit the main chain. Imagine everyone lining up at the entrance of a concert, and instead of checking tickets one by one, you hand everyone numbered wristbands as they arrive. Those numbers tell you exactly who came when. No extra verification needed. That's proof of history. It orders transactions so efficiently that the validators, the folks confirming transactions, can process them in rapid succession. Then, proof of stake kicks in to secure the network, with validators staking Sol, that's Solana's native token, as collateral. If they act honestly, they earn rewards. If they cheat or slack off, they lose part of their stake. Together, proof of history plus proof of stake lets Solana hit throughput numbers upward of 50,000 transactions per second, all while keeping fees super low, often less than a fraction of a penny per transaction. Now, speed and low fees are great, but what can you actually do on Solana? Well, the ecosystem has exploded. You've got decentralized exchanges like Serum and Radium, where people trade tokens almost instantly. There are lending and borrowing platforms like Solend, and yield protocols where you can earn interest on your crypto. Solana has its own NFT marketplaces. Magic Eden is the biggest one, where artists and collectors buy, sell, and mint digital art at blazing fast speeds. And if you're into gaming, projects like Star Atlas offer blockchain-driven metaverse experiences. Plus, Solana Pay is picking up steam, letting merchants accept Sol or stablecoins with near-instant settlement. Bottom line, Solana is no longer just a fast blockchain in theory. It's a fully functional ecosystem with real use cases and real users. Now, we need to talk about reliability. Solana's lightning-fast performance hasn't come without growing pains. In 2023 and early 2024, the network faced a few high-profile outages, one of the most serious being in February 2024, when the network was down for several hours. These were mostly caused by things like bot traffic or bugs in the validator software, and yeah, they did shake user confidence. But here's what matters: the Solana Foundation and its developer community took it seriously. In 2024, they rolled out major upgrades. Thanks to those changes, network uptime climbed to over 99.9%, and major DeFi apps returned with stronger protections. So while past outages are a valid concern, they've been actively addressed, and Solana's infrastructure is clearly maturing. So, why is Solana so popular by both builders and everyday users? It comes down to three simple things: speed, scale, and cost. If you're a developer building an app or a game, nothing is more frustrating than your users paying $20 in gas fees just to claim an NFT or send a token. On Ethereum, that's still a reality during busy times. But on Solana, that same action might cost a fraction of a penny, and it settles almost instantly. That massive reduction in cost and wait time, it lowers the barrier for everyone, and that's what's been fueling this explosion of cool creative projects on Solana. Things like play-to-earn games, NFT collectibles, even decentralized identity tools. The kind of stuff that just wouldn't work if every click came with a $5 fee and a 10-minute delay. Solana also offers strong tools for developers, like the Anchor framework for writing smart contracts, and bridges like Wormhole, which connect it to other blockchains. Bottom line, Solana's speed and low fees make it a solid choice for building the future of crypto. But hold on, no blockchain is perfect, and Solana has its fair share of risks. We already mentioned network outages. Then there's centralization concerns. A significant portion of SOL is staked by a handful of big validators and exchanges, which could, at least in theory, collude or suffer a coordinated failure. Another area that's still evolving is governance. Solana Labs, the team that originally built the network, has been slowly shifting control toward more decentralized decision-making. And that's good. But it's still a work in progress, not a fully decentralized system, yet like some people might expect. And finally, let's talk about risk in the ecosystem itself. Like any fast-growing network, Solana has had its fair share of shady projects, things promising guaranteed returns, or DeFi apps that look polished but disappear overnight. Rug pulls happen, scams exist, and if you're not careful, you can lose money fast. All right, let's talk about SOL, the actual token behind Solana. So, SOL is the native token that powers pretty much everything on the Solana network. You use it to pay for transactions, take part in staking to help run the network, and access apps built on Solana. Basically, if you're doing anything on Solana, you're using SOL in the background. Now here's how the tokenomics work. SOL has an inflationary supply, which means new tokens are constantly being created. These new tokens go out as staking rewards to people who help secure the network. But there's also a burn mechanism. So every time a transaction happens, a tiny portion of the fees gets permanently destroyed. That helps cancel out some of the inflation. And if you decide to stake your SOL, you can currently earn around 5 to 6% on your staked SOL. So yeah, SOL isn't just some speculative coin, it's the fuel that keeps the whole Solana ecosystem running. All right, time for the big question. Should you buy SOL? Now, just to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor, so this isn't financial advice. But let me walk you through a few things to think about. First, ask yourself, are you bullish on DeFi or Web3? Like, do you believe that decentralized apps, digital assets, and token-powered economies are the future of the internet? If yes, then owning SOL gives you direct exposure to that whole ecosystem. Second, think about your risk tolerance. SOL is still a crypto asset, and that means it's volatile. Solana had a monster year in 2023, gaining over 900% from January to December. But it's also had big dips during market pullbacks. If price swings make you nervous, this might not be your thing. Next up, your confidence in the tech. Do you trust the Solana team and the developers to keep improving the network? If you believe in the roadmap, especially after all the 2024 upgrades and how they've handled past issues, that's definitely a positive sign. Then there's diversification. If you already own Bitcoin or Ethereum, adding SOL gives you exposure to a different kind of blockchain, one that's laser-focused on speed and low costs. It's a different angle on the Layer 1 space. And finally, let's talk price. If SOL feels expensive right now, you can always use something called dollar cost averaging. That's just a fancy way of saying you buy small amounts over time instead of going all in at once. And no matter what, never invest more than you're willing to lose. Seriously. Now, if you decide SOL is for you, here's a quick how-to. You can buy SOL on most major exchanges: Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, you name it. Once you buy it, don't leave it all on an exchange. For long-term holding, use a hardware wallet like Ledger or Trezor that supports Solana. You'll transfer your SOL to a Solana address in your wallet. And, if you want to stake, delegate it to a reliable validator. Most wallets offer one-click staking functionality, making it pretty simple even for beginners. All right, so let's look ahead. What could actually push SOL's value even higher? Well, first off, ecosystem growth. That means more DeFi protocols being built, more NFT platforms launching, and apps that people actually use in the real world. The more useful stuff that's built on Solana, the more demand there is for SOL. Simple as that. Now, the Solana team isn't sitting still either. They're actively exploring Layer 2 scaling solutions and new interoperability standards, basically ways to make Solana faster and easier to connect with other blockchains. If that works, it could seriously boost how useful and flexible the whole network becomes. But there are risks too. Regulatory pressure could slow things down, or a major technical failure, like another serious network outage, could shake investor confidence. That said, Solana's shown it can bounce back. The team moves fast, the developer community is one of the most active out there, and there's real momentum behind the project. So while nothing in crypto is guaranteed, Solana's definitely in the conversation when it comes to top layer 1 contenders. So, to recap, Solana is a lightning-fast, low-fee blockchain powered by proof of history and proof of stake. Its thriving ecosystem spans DeFi, NFTs, gaming, and payments. Yes, there have been outages and centralization concerns, but ongoing upgrades are strengthening the network. If you're bullish on crypto beyond just store of value, and you can stomach volatility, Sol could be an intriguing addition to your portfolio. Just do your own research, manage risk, and remember, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Solana, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss future crypto explainers.